Ladies, gentlemen, and wrestling fans alike, welcome to episode 15 of the Squash Match Wrestling Podcast. I'm Jake. I'm joined here once again by my co-host, Jet Li. We have a big weekend of pro wrestling coming up. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then once again on Monday. I'm actually going to be on vacation for this weekend. Me and my girlfriend are going down to Ocean City, Maryland. Almost said New Jersey. We went there last year. But we're going to Maryland this year, so it's going to be a new experience. I haven't been there since I'm like 8 years old, but I'm going to watch a lot of wrestling, eat some good food, go to a couple of nice bars. I'm going to try and find an aquarium while I'm down there because I haven't been to a nice aquarium in years, and I friggin' love the aquarium. But anyway, Jetly, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Like I said, we got lots coming up this week. We'll do all of our predictions and stuff in this episode. My phone is on low power mode, so my note app just closed, but that's okay because I have it kind of memorized here. Before we get into Saturday night's main event and Women's Evolution and whatever else we have coming up this weekend, I just want to say, Friday night SmackDown this week, how did you feel about the 2-hour show?
I did really enjoy it. It definitely is a lot better for it to be 2 hours rather than 3. I think it was kind of, for this one, it was kind of iffy just because we did know that this was pre-recorded, so like crowd was kind of dead for the most part, but I think moving forward it's going to get a lot better.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the 2-hour version of the show rather than the 3-hour version. I feel like everything that happened in this episode of SmackDown, they would have, like, it felt like everything that would have happened if it was 3 hours, but it was so much more compressed. Like, it's kind of the same thing that people have been saying for months. It's like the 3-hour show, all of that shit should just be compressed into the 2-hour show and it would feel exactly the same. And that's how it was. And the pacing felt so much better. I didn't watch the show on Friday just because of 4th of July and like parties and stuff going on. So I actually watched it on Saturday. And still, I got to skip all the commercials on YouTube TV. So I got done watching SmackDown in like an hour and 20 minutes, maybe hour and a half. And it felt great, you know? So I was a big fan of that. One of my favorite things that happened on Friday Night SmackDown this week, which will lead us right into our Saturday night's main event, hot takes and fantasy bookings and stuff here. The return of Drew McIntyre, which I actually had spoiled on me on Twitter, like probably 15 minutes before I actually started watching SmackDown, so that was a little bit of a bummer. But anyway, how you feeling about Drew being back? You said you weren't going to see him until the Royal Rumble here, so a little early.
Yeah, this was a lot earlier than I really anticipated him coming back. I don't mind him being back. I think he brings a lot, especially now that he's pretty much going to be in like that main event like role on SmackDown, especially now that SmackDown's 2 hours. It's a little confusing for me right now to see where he's going to go with this story, whether he's going to feud with Cody or Orton. I feel like he was just randomly thrown in there just because why not? But hopefully there is something good to be set up from here.
Yeah, I agree with being a huge fan of having Drew McIntyre back. I've said it pretty much every time we've talked about Drew here on the podcast. I am a huge Drew McIntyre fan, so I'm super glad that he's back. And to be feuding with the likes of either Randy Orton or Cody Rhodes, obviously I think it's going to be Randy Orton first here, not just because of their Saturday night's main event match, but going forward, I think Cody's going to have his match at SummerSlam and then go off into something with Drew. But for now, I'm glad we're starting with Randy Orton because we kind of saw him being a little bit of an instigator on SmackDown here, you know, saying like, oh, Randy, you know, you've gone soft. The legend is dead, man. Cody Rhodes, he pulled the trigger. You couldn't do it, you know? So maybe, just maybe, and I hope, fingers crossed, during this match on Saturday, we get a punt kick from Randy Orton to Drew McIntyre? Could it be, finally?
Maybe, but I feel like it's a little too early, especially if they are trying to start a feud. Maybe it probably won't happen until later down the line. And honestly, if we were to see a punt kick, I don't think we would see it in a match. I feel like we'd see it in like a backstage tag.
Yeah, I could kind of see that. I want it to happen in the ring. Like you said, maybe not in a match, but like definitely out in front of the crowd. I would like to see the punt kick. Like the whole, like the iconic, like grab it out of the ropes, leaning forward into it. Like, I think that's how we get the most out of a punt kick. I honestly want to say, in terms of this match on Saturday, I don't think we're going to get a clean finish between these two. Obviously, Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, you want to try and protect both of those guys as much as possible while also putting on a banger of a match. So maybe a DQ from a punt kick. Is a punt kick a disqualification-able offense? I don't know. It is a banned move, technically, right?
I mean, in a sense, but it's like, it's not like it's a low blow.
Yeah, that's true. But like, if Kevin Owens pile drived Cody Rhodes during a match, would he be DQ'd? Like, I don't know the ruling on that. I feel like they could get away with it if that was the route they're gonna go.
If anything, it'd probably be a match stoppage. I don't see it being a DQ. I could see it end up going into like a no contest.
Yeah, and that's kind of the route I wanted to go with this match. Maybe not necessarily disqualification, but a stoppage. Like, somebody's not going to win this match. Somebody's not going to lose this match. It's going to go kind of for both of these two and hopefully push them off into a bigger feud. If they don't feud, I would at least like to see Drew McIntyre turn Randy Orton back into, like, legend killer Randy Orton. You know? And maybe I'm just clamoring because we haven't seen heel Orton in a long time. And I grew up with bald 2009 punt kicking John Cena's dad, Randy Orton. So I would like to see that at least one more time, especially against Cody Rhodes. But that was a topic from last episodes on who we think is going to turn heel first. And based on what we got this week on SmackDown, I'm going to go with Randy Orton.
I actually think Drew McIntyre might win this. If this were to set up a Randy Orton heel turn, I have to see Orton lose this.
Yeah, big time. That's kind of. I mean, I'm trying to think, because if it ends up in a DQ, that would technically be an Orton loss. But I agree that if he's going to turn heel, it will be because Drew McIntyre, like he always is, was right and got the dub over Randy one way or another. But honestly, it might be better if it's not a DQ to set up the heel turn. But that's if they want to go that route, I guess. Honestly, though, like I said, I don't see this ending cleanly either way, though. So I feel like one of those two things is going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, in my eyes, this has potential to be match of the night.
Oh, yeah, for sure. These two had a match on SmackDown. I don't want to say not too long ago, because at this point it was before WrestleMania, but I don't recall. I think Drew McIntyre won that one. Was it to qualify for something? I don't recall. It was a while ago. On like a random, it was like a random episode of SmackDown. We had Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. I believe Drew McIntyre won, but I'd have to go back and look that up.
Yeah, I'm not sure off the top of my head.
I'm not either. Anyway, though, super excited to have Drew back. I was right. Pat on the back for myself there. He was back before SummerSlam. I knew we needed him back before SummerSlam. You know, he's like one of the... If they don't have any storylines built up for SummerSlam just yet, which other than like maybe one or two, we really don't, you could throw Drew anywhere. You could have him come out and shit talk anybody the week before, and there's your match right there. And people will watch it just because Drew McIntyre's back, you know?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So, with that being said, anything more on Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton before we move on to our next match here?
Good.
All right, so next up we have LA Knight, versus Seth freaking Rollins, one-on-one here. This feud has been boiling for a couple of weeks now. What have you thought so far of LA Knight versus Seth Rollins? Feud-wise.
I mean, feud-wise, I am a little confused by it, I'm not gonna lie. It's not that, like, the story, like, isn't there. Like, clearly there is, like, motive behind it, but it's, like, it's almost sporadic in a sense. Like, one week like LA will come out and attack him, and then the next week he won't. So it's like it's almost patchy. So it's like for me, it's like I want like to like this feud. I just can't with how like spotty it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree. Actually, I quite like this feud. And the reason is because if we go back to the episode that we did about Money in the Bank, when I said LA Knight has to win Money in the Bank because that will get him from mid card up to finally cementing himself as a main eventer. Obviously, that did not happen. At the time, LA Knight didn't have much going on in terms of storyline. He was kind of just going back and forth with the bloodline since before WrestleMania, even. Right now, although he didn't win the Money in the Bank, the Money in the Bank briefcase, he's still surrounded by it. And although he didn't win it, he's gotten pushed to that main event scene because of what happened inside of the ladder match. And for that alone, I'm just excited for LA Knight. I am also a big LA Knight fan. If I have a T-shirt of somebody, you could bet your ass I am a big fan of them because I don't buy a lot of stuff from WWE Shop because one, it's expensive as hell, and two, it takes literally months to come in. My Karrion Kross shirt I ordered months ago, and it took forever to come in. But anyway, that's besides the point. I'm super excited for LA Knight here, finally getting his main event. I don't want to say trial run because he did have a title match against Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia. But I think he's here to stay now, and that's excited. I'm excited about that. In terms of the match itself, LA Knight versus Seth Rollins, what do you think is going to go down on Saturday?
We're gonna see B&B Security help Seth get the win.
Yeah, it's. I think it's pretty clear. That seems to just be every week now. We saw it last night on Raw with Penta. Actually, no, they didn't really help him beat Penta. He just straight up beat Penta, although with a low blow. But unless I'm mistaken, but I don't think I am. Seth's faction literally ran Monday Night Raw last night.
Yeah.
Like ran through everybody, beat down Sami Zayn, beat down Jey Uso. I hope we don't see Jey Uso for a couple of weeks here. Maybe this is what we've been praying for. Get Jey Uso off TV. He took the three tsunamis and now he's gone. But what happened with Sami Zayn, that worries me for Karrion Kross. But we'll get to the Karrion Kross rant in just a couple of minutes. But I mentioned Karrion Kross and I lost my train of thought. Shit. Seth Rollins. Yeah, they ran Monday Night Raw last night, which was good to see. I think in the past couple of weeks anyway, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed didn't look as strong as I would want them to look. If you know what I'm saying. Like they come out 2v1 against like CM Punk and they both get chased out of the ring. Like, are you kidding? This is not what I want to see from these two guys. Like, I get it, CM Punk, upper mid card or uppest mid card that you could possibly mid card main event. Holy shit, dude! I am. You know, we started at 7:30 instead of 7 today, and I guess it's just ruining my brain. But anyway, highest main eventer that you could possibly get on Monday Night Raw next to Seth Rollins, and it's like, sure, maybe he could 2v1 them, but like not every single night, you know. So I was really happy to see them finally one up everybody that they went against on an episode of Raw. That was great. Only thing I didn't like though, and I don't know if you had the same problem as me, my Monday Night Raw stream last night was in like 480p. Like the video quality was terrible. It looked worse than my camera does right now. It was like Minecraft textures. Like it was so bad.
Yeah, quality was not great.
Was it on your end too?
Yeah, I think that might have been a Netflix issue, or unless it was just us two being in the Northeast.
It could have been. I'm not sure because I didn't see much online about it. I was looking through Twitter. I was like, is anybody having the same problem right now? But I couldn't find anything. But yeah, I was getting ready to blame Netflix because I had the same problem on Christmas with the NFL games. My streams were awful, and that's why I like going into Monday Night Raw on Netflix. I was like, dude, like Netflix has to figure this shit out because I'm not watching Raw. Like this every single week. It was ass, but I stuck it out, and you know I could still kind of tell what was going on, but made it a little hard to pay attention. So for the one WWE exec watching out there, Go fix your shit with Netflix right now. It was really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we both have Seth coming out on top in this one. Anything more on Seth Rollins versus LA Knight, Saturday night's main event here before we move on?
I'm good.
Okay. Surprisingly, we only have 3 confirmed matches for Saturday night's main event as of the making of this podcast, which is the Tuesday after Monday Night Raw, for those watching this maybe a little bit later. And the last one is Gunther versus Goldberg, which we have been hyping up for quite some time now. Honestly, at first, I thought this was just the retirement for Goldberg, but I think that especially Michael Cole has been doing a really good job of hyping up Goldberg, and honestly, I have no idea what's going to go down in Georgia.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. After what we saw last night, as much as I wasn't looking forward to this match, this is like a match that like I am genuinely looking forward to now.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see it, and it's like a couple of weeks ago, if you asked me who's going to win this match, I'd be like, it's Gunther. Just like, it is Gunther. And I'm still going to stand with Gunther, but WWE's done a really good job of making me question whether or not it's going to be Gunther. You know, hyping up Goldberg a lot. I fear that Goldberg may actually win the World Heavyweight Championship and go on like maybe a 2 or 3 month run with it.
He better not.
I know.
We're already dealing with one part-time world champion.
Yeah, for real. And we've been going back to like the WrestleMania time period of when we were recording these. We had predicted originally Gunther versus Goldberg at SummerSlam. Do you think it's possible Goldberg wins here, holds the title for like a month, not even a month. At this point, it's less than a month away, and loses it back to Gunther at SummerSlam?
I really hope that isn't the case. Like, I will be like the most furious man on God's green earth if that happens.
Yeah, I am. For as much as I don't think that that will happen, I do think that it's a possibility. I think it's within the cards back there somewhere. Papa H is cooking up something diabolical. And the way that Goldberg has been received by the crowd, which was a little bit surprising to me, honestly, I think it's possible. But I'm still going to stay with Gunther as my final prediction for this match.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's always been Gunther. Out of all the men's champions as of recently, I feel like he's always been at the top of my list, and for good reason. So, the only issue I have with Goldberg, especially as of recently, he's destroyed a lot of characters when he wins titles.
Yeah.
Like we saw basically the death of the Fiend.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's why I really don't want to... Like, could Gunther recover from a loss on Saturday to Goldberg? Like, I don't... Not immediately. Not enough to warrant an immediate rematch at SummerSlam, I fear. So, just because of that, I'm still going to stick with Gunther, but I think this match will be a lot longer than 5 minutes, thankfully. Especially because we only have 3 matches confirmed for the card right now. Now, that could change as of Friday, once SmackDown rolls around. Because there's no women's matches on this card yet. Which, sure, we have Evolution coming up on Sunday. But you don't want to have... It would make the all-women's PLE feel less special if Saturday night's main event was an all-men's PLE.
I mean, yeah, but then again, like... And that's the issue I have had, and I brought this up recently about having way too many PLEs, is like... If you have a PLE that is like dedicated strictly for the women's division, just have them all on there. I mean, I'd rather see all the women's matches on Evolution than just have a one-off at Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, it just seems like it would be less like, because like the whole point of Evolution is like, look at our women's division. This is celebrating all of the women and all of the they have done for WWE in recent years, especially. But since like back in the day, like I was actually having a conversation at work today with one of my coworkers who is a little bit older than we are. I think he's 36. Sorry, Leo, if I butchered your age there. But he was like, I remember back in the Attitude Era and stuff when there was like 5 women's wrestlers. And it's like today, women's wrestling in WWE is some of like the best content out there. Look at the Intercontinental Championship as an example. So to me, it would just feel a little bit like a slap in the face to make Saturday night's main event an all men's PLE when we're trying to celebrate Evolution as an all women's PLE. I'm trying to recover from my non-progressive comments from the past 3 weeks by throwing this. It's not even a hot take out there. I think this is something people could actually agree with. But I'm trying to recover my my reputation with this one, and not in like a selfish manner. I do actually think that. But anything more on Gunther versus Goldberg before we move on here? Because my next topic was actually going to be, since there's only 3 matches confirmed for Saturday night's main event, what is another one that we could see? Because I doubt they're only going to do 3. There's got to be at least one more.
I mean, let's get straight into the fantasy booking.
Yeah, here we go. This is the fun parts of the episode.
So, I'm just trying to think of, because we only have one title match at the moment.
Yeah.
I would really like to see the SmackDown tag team titles finally get defended at a PLE.
That's what I was gonna say too. Because the only reason I didn't write that down actually on my like little notes that I have here, the SmackDown tag division, because the SmackDown before PLEs is when we always get a SmackDown tag title match, and we have the Wyatt Six confirmed from last week as that next opponent. So I wasn't sure if it would actually end up on Saturday night's main event. I think that this match, unfortunately, will take place on the SmackDown before it. I don't think it got confirmed for a date, did it? I should have looked into that.
I don't think so. And here's the thing. SmackDown's 2 hours now.
Yes, that is true. So we might not get a long drawn out match, but I think it'll still be on there somewhere. So the SmackDown tag division still got a lot of representation during this 2 hour show, which I thought was great. Still one of my favorite things to see on SmackDown. I was gonna go with that women's route. I want to see Julia defend the United States title on Saturday night's main event. The only problem I'm having is finding an opponent for her at the moment. I just pray to God it's not Michin. Going back to my Michin hate. I fucking hate Michin. It better not be Michin. I'm trying to think of who that could be. I don't want to see her go against Zelina Vega once again. Or Chelsea Green, honestly. But if they were going to go one route, I think it would probably be Chelsea Green. Just because I feel like you could kind of just throw her in there. I'm going to go Chelsea Green versus Julia. U.S. title.
Yeah, I could see that. And genuinely, that's probably like the only like women's like match I could see not be featured on Evolution is the U.S. women's title, just because of the fact that there really hasn't been much of a build-up ever since she literally had just won it.
Yeah, she got that vignette on SmackDown, but I don't really think that suggested anything towards a next opponent for that.
Yeah, still waiting on that.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, if you could build anything really quickly, I feel like it could be Chelsea Green, just because she's still going with the whole USA gimmick, even though she hasn't been champion for a couple months at this point. A couple PLE cycles, although a PLE cycle nowadays is 2 weeks. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. And that's another good transition into one of my topics for later on in the episode that we could just get to right now because we're already talking about it. I want to talk about the SmackDown Tag Division because right now, I really, really, really like this storyline that we have going on with everybody teaming up against the Wyatt Six, trying to bring them down. Because of that, I do see whether this match is on SmackDown or I'm talking about the tag match, whether it's on SmackDown, whether it's on Saturday night's main event. I think the Wyatt Six are our next tag team champions.
I mean, we said it when they last had a tag team title match. That ended up being everyone basically turning against everyone at
Yeah,
that rate.
yeah,
But yeah, I do genuinely think the Wyatt Six will be our next WWE Tag Team Champions. Just because of the fact that I think it will finally like solidify themselves as like them like not being like the Bray Wyatt tribute group that a lot of people are still like on them about.
yeah. Like they're here. They're ready to finally like solidify themselves as a legitimate faction here, and the SmackDown Tag Division is a perfect place to do it. Like we've been saying for weeks, one of the most interesting things that we have going on Friday Night SmackDown every week. I just want to give a round of applause quickly to that match that we had on SmackDown between the Wyatt Six and the Tag Division. What a creative concept, you know, with the, they've been teaming up for weeks, going at it. All the tag teams are trying to team up, taking one guy from each team and putting them in a four-man tag match against the Wyatt Six. I really like that. I thought that was a really cool concept. So SmackDown Tag Division cooking as always, as I like to promote it every single week here.
Yeah, no, genuinely, they're like the best thing going on SmackDown right now.
Yeah, for real. And that leads me to my next topic with the SmackDown Tag Division. We have a new hot team, Andrade and Rey Fenix. Holy crap. I really like them as a tag team. If not for the Wyatt Six, I would say maybe they would be in contention for another tag title. But what are your reactions so far to these two as a tag team?
I really like this team a lot. At first I was questionable about it when they first had their match in Saudi Arabia, but ever since then, like I don't understand how this tag team division is so good.
I know.
Especially when you just have your newest team in Andrade and Rey Fenix, who realistically shouldn't fit. Like if you look at it from like I don't know, like a WWE standpoint, where it's like you just like mash these two together, but like they work really well in this chaotic division.
Yeah, I really like this team, especially for two singles guys who I don't want to say weren't succeeding as single superstars, but weren't really doing anything. You know, they had nothing going on. And it's a common trope across professional wrestling, too. Oh, you have these two guys, not too much going on. Just throw them in a tag team for a little while until we find storylines for them. But I don't know. I think they could be here to stay for at least a number of months at this point. They worked really well. They'd be great tag champions. That's the great part about the SmackDown Tag Division. Any one of these teams would be great champions.
Yeah, no, like I genuinely would not be mad if we had like 6 different title changes between these teams in like the next year. Like honestly, all these guys deserve a shot at the titles.
Yeah, and that's what I said back around WrestleMania time was like, I don't think the Street Profits are going to have a long run, which they did end up having one. But just because there's so many teams that are deserving of it at this point. Like it could go back and forth and it would still be competitive. And I just think that that's great. Like an awesome sign of a healthy division. At this point, you could probably have like a mid-card tag title. And I wouldn't mind just because there's so many tag teams and they're all so entertaining. And the storylines on SmackDown are just so good, whether it's involving one team versus another or all 5 teams versus one or whatever's going on down there. I'm loving it, you know?
Yeah, only if Raw could do the same thing.
If only. And I feel like they're working on it, but not quite there yet. What if they brought Andrade and Rey Fenix over to Monday Night Raw just to spice things up?
I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but like I feel like they could do a lot more right now in the SmackDown division, with all things considered.
Yeah, I said the same thing about Fraxium back when they debuted. And even if they were going to reunite the Lucha Bros, which isn't going to happen now, just because of Andrade and Rey Fenix, but Raw just needs something to spice it up. And unfortunately, whatever that something is going to end up being, it's going to have to be a sacrifice from the SmackDown Tag Division over to Monday Night Raw. Maybe Pretty Deadly. We haven't seen Pretty Deadly in a while. Where have they been?
Not sure, honestly. And honestly, I feel like if you took like even one team out the SmackDown tag team division, that division is going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like a small sacrifice to pay for a more entertaining Monday Night Raw division. So whoever it ends up
Yeah,
being,
because
they could take any one of those teams, and it would immediately spice things up over there.
oh, 100%.
Yeah. So, what were you gonna say? I cut you off. I didn't mean to.
I was gonna say because like Raw needs help with all the. We basically just saw like the death of the New Day last night.
Yeah, I know that was so funny. Mourning their tag team title run as if it was the greatest of all time. What shitty
So
champions,
bad.
unfortunately. It really was bad. Which is another problem for
Like,
Judgment Day here too. They are dripped in fool's gold, as Santi Zap said in a TikTok that I saw the other day, because none of these titles feel meaningful at all right now. Unfortunately, the IC title is one of those. I am a big fan of what's now going on with AJ Styles, because it's now that it's gotten like a little bit silly. I think it's funny. Like the cake last night was so funny.
I love that he's like playing like Dominic is playing the whole like I got a doctor's note, AJ, you
Yeah.
can't touch me.
Yeah, the mental warfare there, the little like peeking around from the side, like the like I'm watching you, kid. Like it's so funny. I hope AJ gets his title shot sooner rather than later.
I saw like rumors floating around that him and Dom might happen at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and you said that last week too. So
Hmm.
I'm starting to believe it more and more. Just the way that sorry, but just the way that things are going with the tag titles right now. It's all Liv Morgan's. I almost said fault. It's not her fault, but the absence of Liv Morgan's fault is or the absence of Liv Morgan is at fault. Excuse my grammar there. I was a comm major. I should know how to speak, but yeah, my original hope for Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio at SummerSlam seems to be going down the shitter week after week, more and more.
Yeah, I mean, and funny enough, I saw something on I think it was either TikTok or Instagram that pointed this out. It's like where, and I like am kind of predicting this on like Dominic could basically still get kicked out the group. So little callback. I forget what year this was, but at one time, Finn Balor, Liv Morgan, and AJ Styles was a group.
When was that?
I don't remember if it was like pre-pandemic or post-pandemic. It was around that time. But they were pretty united. Oh, you know what? This was it was before Finn joined Judgment Day.
Really?
That's when it was.
I have no
Yeah,
recollection.
because like because it was like several weeks like it was like several weeks later, like after him, AJ, and Liv Morgan were teaming up, Finn would join and then kick Edge out.
Oh, okay.
So my thought process was because because SummerSlam is in Jersey, Liv Morgan's home state, if the match is between Dom and AJ, I could still see the possibility of like Finn Balor and possibly JD come out to interfere. If that backfires, what if Liv Morgan comes out because of what I think might happen in the next few weeks, which I don't think it will, is him and Roxanne getting very touchy. Liv Morgan comes out, screws Dom, and then we have like Judgment Day 2.0 Bullet Club Black and AJ, Finn, Liv, and JD.
They did just trademark the Bullet Club Black thing, didn't they?
Yeah.
So, I could see that, especially if, like you said, the Dom and Roxanne start getting a little more touchy-feely there. I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, there were signs of it when Roxanne was first introduced to the group, so.
Yeah. Another thing, how about the mourning of Liv Morgan there? Like as if she was dead. Even was it Finn? He came in and he's like, guys, or no, it was Raquel. It was Raquel. She's like, guys, she's not dead. Like she's fine. She'll be back in a couple weeks. Like what the fuck is going on here? That was funny though. I'm really starting to like I guess the new Judgment Day.
I just love Instigator Finn Balor. That's
Yeah.
really what it is.
Yeah, rage bait Balor.
Like, so perfect. It's like him just like cheesing in the background, just like being the instigator that he is.
Yeah, it's great. And that's why I want them to have a good title run, finally, with those tag titles. Finn Balor deserves nice things. He really does. For all of the losing that he's been doing for the past, like, 5 years or some shit at this point, you know?
Yeah.
So, give something nice to Finn Balor. The one WWE exec.
Watch, now he's gonna be on like a 10-match losing streak.
Yeah, probably. Wouldn't doubt it. Even with the titles, they'll make him pin Balor once again.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. With that being said, though, is there anything more on Judgment Day, tag divisions, anything we just covered over the past couple of minutes, or Saturday night's main event in general, before we move on to our women's Evolution predictions here?
I really hope that there's at least one more match announced for Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
Whether it be like a tag team match, a random one-off, give us a little more something, because granted, these 3 matches have some good, like, positive things going for it. It's just, I don't know how much these 3 could really carry the load.
Yeah, I fear more and more commercial breaks are going to happen if we only have 3 matches. I guarantee you, now that I think about it, now that we're talking about Judgment Day, I guarantee you we'll get a SmackDown tag title match on SmackDown, and then Judgment Day and War Raiders will be on Saturday night's main event. They'll pull another fast one on us.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, we still got time before Saturday, so let's hope.
Yeah. Anyway, though, anything more on Saturday night's main event before we move on to Women's Evolution here, which honestly I think I might be more excited for than Saturday night's main event.
Let's get to Evolution.
All right, so first up, and these are in no particular order because I don't know what the card is going to look like. I'm assuming Io Sky and Rhea Ripley is going to be the main event, so we'll save that one for last. But before we get to that, the Women's Battle Royal. Winner gets a Women's World Championship match, or just whichever brand wins title match? We'll go with that. Whoever wins that gets a title match at Clash in Paris. Who do you have as your pick for winning the Women's Battle Royal?
Okay, my issue, like, currently with this is I don't even know who's in it.
Yeah, that's the other
I'll
thing.
be completely honest with you.
Yeah. I think on NXT tonight, which is probably going on right now as we're recording, so we won't know until after the show, they are announcing which NXT women will be in it. I know Ivy Niles in it, and I have a couple more guesses as to who also might be in there. Michin is one of them. I don't think she's going to win, but I bet she'll be in there. As for my final pick on who I think is going to get in there, or not get in there, but you know what I mean, win. I have Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Reasonably, I feel like she makes the most sense, especially because I feel like, I think we are both going to agree on this, like, she's definitely in the main event picture now, even though we really haven't seen much of her, just because of how, like, frantic everything is going on with the women's IC title. I feel like a fresh face in the main event scene, especially someone like Stephanie Vaquer, winning this will benefit her a lot.
Yeah, and I think she has, I don't want to say history, but she has at least interacted with both Rhea Ripley and Io Sky up to this point. I don't want to spoil who I think is going to win the match later on in the night just yet. But whether it's Io or whether it's Rhea, because she had that little backstage segment with Rhea Ripley where they kind of like chatted a little bit and waved at each other and I don't know, gave friendly looks and then walked their separate ways. She has that going on with Rhea, and then Io, obviously, they've had a couple of matches at this point. 2 really good matches that we didn't get clean finishes for. So she's my pick for that one. I would like to see her run it back with Io or go up against Rhea Ripley here.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. So anything more on the Battle Royal before we move on?
We could agree this is like potentially the opener, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's why I went with this one first. I think this is going to kick off the show. Just to get us a good feel for the momentum of the show and like here's some more women, showcase them early on. Stuff like that. Cuz Battle Royals sometimes I feel like not that they're not entertaining, but they're not like I guess like the highlight of the show. Like I see a Battle Royal and it's like I only really pay attention when it's like the final maybe 5-6 people. Like I know like Meechin and the Secret Hervis and B-Fab and some of these NXT women. I know they're not going to win, so it's like I'm not going to sit there and root my little ass off for B-Fab to win the Battle Royal. It's like the NBA Finals. Yeah. You watch the last 2 minutes of Game 7. Other than that, it's just, oh, he scored, oh, he scored, oh, he scored, oh, he scored. Oh, she got eliminated, she got eliminated, she got eliminated, she got eliminated. Like, I can sit there and root for Chelsea Green all I want. She's not going to win.
Yeah, with you on that.
All right. Well, let's move on to our next match here. We have, let's go Jade Cargill versus Miss Money in the Bank, Naomi, who does, in fact, now have her own customized briefcase, which I am a big fan of. I like the caution tape briefcase. But anyway, who do you have winning this one? Jade or Naomi?
I'm genuinely surprised that they're running this back to start off. Honestly, kind of sucks to say. I do think Jade is going to win again.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think Jade has to win this one. Especially after winning Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, like, realistically, like, Jade has to win if ultimately we both are in agreement with this. If we are expecting Naomi to cash in on Jade when she becomes champion.
Yeah. Yeah. Jade has more to lose if she is to lose. You know, Naomi has the briefcase to fall back on. So, like, sure, she could put on a great match, take an L here. I don't think it's going to end in a DQ or anything. Like, I think maybe Naomi tries to hit her with the briefcase. Or no, it's no holds barred, so it doesn't matter. That's right. I forgot about that. So there is no DQ here. But yeah, I think Naomi can always fall back on the briefcase because inevitably, like we've been saying for months here, Naomi is going to screw over Jade Cargill at SummerSlam. So, yeah, I'm with you on that one. Jade Cargill.
Yeah. I mean, am I looking forward to this match? Of course. I just don't love the fact that we're already running it back.
Yeah, because the feud back at WrestleMania time, obviously it was fresh. It was the blood feud. It was the biggest thing anybody wanted to see. Not the biggest one, but one of the bigger things. It felt like a WrestleMania match, you know. But since then, Naomi's kind of been going after Jade Cargill, kind of trying to get back at her, not doing a great job of it. They haven't had too many in-ring promos, stuff like that. They just had a couple of backstage beatdowns, in the ring beatdowns. Jade Cargill seems to have always gotten the upper hand on Naomi so far, so it's going to feel all that much more bitter when Naomi comes out and cashes in and ruins the moment for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think still at SummerSlam, Jade's going to get the Drew McIntyre treatment. Or even the Bianca Belair treatment from 2 years ago, where she's going to win, be champion for 35 seconds, and then we're going to hear the Naomi music hit. She comes down and cashes in.
What if we see like a potential like heist of the century where Naomi cashes in mid-match?
Like, makes it a triple threat?
Yeah.
I mean, either way, I think Naomi's definitely cashing
It's
in.
still gonna
It's still gonna happen.
it's still gonna screw her out.
I would just like to see Jade Cargill win, and for me personally, I think that would just make it all the more impactful for Naomi, and then Jade Cargill could go into it, I guess, and extend the feud further with Naomi. Maybe then we could get Bianca Belair in there too. We haven't seen Bianca Belair since she came back. I'm assuming she's still probably injured and was just coming out in Tennessee because she's from there. But like, yeah, eventually we could get Bianca Belair in there. Jade Cargill could stay involved. Even Nia Jax, to an extent, could come back because they had a little thing going on there too, Nia Jax and Naomi. So I look forward to Naomi's title run, and I think the best way to kick it off would be taking it off of Jade, not
100%.
Tiffany. All right, with that being said, anything more on Tiffany Stratton? Or not Tiffany Stratton, holy shit. Jade Cargill versus Naomi before we move on here.
I'm good since you already want to get into Tiffany Stratton.
I want to get into Tiffany Stratton so bad. No, I don't really care too much for this match. Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus, two very similar sounding names there. This is the match that I wanted to see back at Elimination Chamber rather than that tag team match. So when they announced it, I was, not against it, obviously. I just probably would have liked to see it a little bit earlier. I think, obviously, not too much to say about this one. Tiffany Stratton is going to win handily against Trish Stratus here.
Yeah, I mean, this has to be a win for Tiffany. This was one of the matches that was spoiled for me, so I already knew about it prior to the podcast, but even prior to the episode.
Yeah.
I think I said this back during Elimination Chamber. If she had fought Trish Stratus, I feel like it could have elevated her a lot. I think her winning could still elevate her, but not as compared to like earlier.
Yeah, just because now we kind of know that the Tiffany Stratton title run, I mean, we do anyway with the whole Money in the Bank thing now. Like, we have a Queen of the Ring, we have a Money in the Bank winner. There's so many matches set up for her already going on in the future, whereas back then it was like she was training to get ready to beat Charlotte Flair. What better way to get ready to beat a legend than by beating another legend a month or so prior? So I think back then the match would have done a whole lot more for Tiffany Stratton. And right now, it kind of feels like this is just making up for like the Liv Morgan stuff. Like Liv Morgan going down. Like, maybe this match was planned before then, but we were supposed to have Liv Morgan on this card somewhere, and maybe she would have fit in here somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think regardless, I think this is going to be a really good match. Potential match of the night candidate in my eyes, but I just wish this match happened like 4 months prior.
Yeah. Going back, now that I'm talking about Liv Morgan here, I had a sleeper pick for the Battle Royal, who I think, if Stephanie Vaquer doesn't win it, here's who I think also has the second best chance. Nikki Bella.
Oh, God.
Nikki Bella.
I forgot.
She was. I completely forgot too, and I wrote this down in my notes. I'm on the podcast one rather than the what I wanted to talk about one. But yeah, Nikki Bella is a sleeper pick for the Battle Royal. Not to just go right back to it here, but she has nothing going on here for Evolution. Obviously, with Liv Morgan being out and stuff like that. I don't know. I think that would be interesting. It would give her something to do. I think she declared for the Battle Royal, right? Like, she's going to be in it. And she got that vignette on Raw. So after seeing...
Honestly, did she declare? I think I might have missed
I think so. In her... She had like a little backstage video package thing where she was like, I will still be there, even though Liv Morgan is not. So, keep an eye on Nikki Bella. She's my sleeper.
Hey, hey, the final two could be Stephanie and Nikki.
It could. It definitely could. Anyway, though, not to go back to the Battle Royal. I'm done talking about that one if you are. But anything more on Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus here? I feel like this one's, I don't want to call it a nothing burger, but an easy one to
I
kind of see
mean,
what's going on.
this is just the past versus the present,
Yeah.
or realistically the future, since Tiffany, I think, is only like 24 or 25. So
Yeah.
realistically, Tiffany's gonna win. Can't see this going any other way.
Yeah. Not really. Not too much to say about this one. Just going to be a match for the sake of having a match, in my opinion. But anyway, let's move on, because here is a match that I think could go literally any one of four ways. We have the Kabuki Warriors reuniting last night on Raw, which ding 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 once again, called it last week. Asuka is being trapped in the women's tag team division. Kabuki Warriors, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, which is a crazy team up, but nonetheless one definitely to look out for. Of course, Judgment Day.
I think you called it last week too.
I did. I am good with my women's tag division that I don't pay attention to whatsoever. But anyway, we also have Sol, Ruka, and Zarya. Is it Zarya or Zarya? It's spelled with an S. But like I think of the Overwatch character Zarya.
I think it is Zarya.
Okay. I don't know. I don't watch too much NXT. This could go, in my eyes, any one of four directions, and I honestly don't have a solid pick for who I think is going to win. So you explain your reasoning for who you have in this one first. Give me a minute to think about it here, because honestly I don't know.
So I am torn between two teams. I am torn between Roxanne and Raquel and Sol, Ruka, and Zarya.
Mm-hmm.
So my reasoning for Team NXT is I feel like they're the most basically complete women's tag team that is actually going to be in this match. The other complete team technically would probably be Kabuki Warriors, but I don't see them. I could see one of them taking the fall in this match.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say about Kabuki Warriors. I don't think they're going to win. They're in here just for the sake of having a Raw tag team, but continue.
Yeah, so like, if the team from NXT wins, and we've said this for some time now, the title should go back down to NXT just so they could be elevated a lot more compared to the main roster. My reasoning behind Roxanne and Raquel is, and I said this last week, I love Judgment Day dripped in gold. I feel like they have a chance to solidify themselves, especially if it is Roxanne and Raquel. Thank God I'm not butchering the R's this week. But yeah, I think realistically it's going to come down to either two of those teams. I wouldn't be mad at either team winning, but ultimately I do think Judgment Day will retain.
Yeah. I wouldn't be mad whoever won regardless, because I don't really care about the women's tag division, unfortunately. I am torn between three teams, which is pretty easy to say because there's only four of them. But obviously, I've been saying this for months. I want the SmackDown tag titles. No, I don't. I want the women's tag titles to go down to NXT and just sit there and cook and let them be an NXT title. That's my reason for the NXT team winning. Judgment Day, I think, could win because they have that would like solidify Roxanne Perez in Raquel Rodriguez's eyes, elevating that whole Judgment Day shenanigan-y feud that's going on, little internal boilings that they have there with the absence of Liv Morgan and everything. I think that them winning it would do nothing but good for Roxanne Perez in that storyline. But also, you just can't count out Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Like, this is a legendary team up, you know? You just can't... Charlotte Flair in a title match with a title that I don't think she's ever been a tag team champion, has she? Maybe once.
No,
not to my knowledge.
This might complete her technical triple crown.
Yeah,
I almost like Grand Slam, but
yeah.
she hasn't won any of them mid-card ones.
So Charlotte Flair going after a title she's never won before, I just can't count it out in my eyes. Overall, and I'm making this on the fly here, I'm going to say the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships after Sunday night are going back down to NXT. For as good as Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss are, for as much as I want to see them stay with Judgment Day at the moment, there's just not enough going on between Raw and SmackDown, women's tag team wise, to justify keeping them on the main roster, I fear. So even if there was nothing going on in NXT, at least they would be off TV. Not off TV, but you know what I mean, off of main roster TV at that point. Especially if, say, like Sol Ruka pins Asuka. That would be big for them. Sol Ruka isn't the Women's North American champion anymore, right?
I think she is.
Is she?
Let me check.
Jamie, where's our Jamie? Get my dog in here. She'll do it. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying while you look that up, so we don't have 20 seconds of dead air here. I just don't want to see these titles on TV anymore. For now that it looks like this tag team match that we have here isn't like the tag team division. You know, it's just like a bunch of, I don't want to say random teams because the Kabuki Warriors, Judgment Day, obviously, but we don't have a third main roster team in here. And
Sol Ruka is indeed still NXT Women's North American Champion.
Okay. Does she have any feuds lined up for it soon? Not that I think she's going to drop it just because they won the tag titles, but
she has a match at Great American Bash.
Okay. So maybe she loses it there. She's a double champion for a day or two. I don't know, something. Whenever that ends up falling. But when is Great American Bash?
Great American Bash is Saturday.
Oh. Well,
we have an NXT and main roster PLE
on the same day. Holy shit. Okay. Well, maybe she loses it there and wins the title immediately back on Sunday. So that's what I'm going with. I'm just going to go with the NXT women here. I've said it time and time again. Get these titles out of here. They don't feel meaningful. They don't look meaningful. They aren't meaningful. There's not a women's tag division. I don't see Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair staying as a team. They want to be their friends or what? Not friends, like frenemies that they have going on here. I think this is just going to kick off a feud for Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Like Charlotte's going to be like, "Oh, you screwed me over, blah 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 blah. I'm not a champion now because of you." And then boom, there's your SummerSlam match. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. That'd be a big one. So that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, definitely.
But anything more on women's tag match that we have here before we move on to, I believe our main event is up next.
Let's get into it.
All right, this is another match that I have a hard time deciphering a true winner for, but I think I have my pick in for this one. We have Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. Who you got going into this one?
Unfortunately, I think we're going to see a new world champion. I think Rhea's going to win this.
I also do, too.
And I feel so bad for Io.
Yeah.
Like, she has been, like, the most transitional champion, like, probably as of recent. Like, it's actually, like, really unfortunate.
Yeah, and it's no fault of hers either. Like, it's just the way she's been booked. The way we talked about this a lot last week, the way that the women's main event is over on Raw. Obviously, you have Liv Morgan out. Stephanie Vaquer, not that she's not in the main event, but she hasn't been on TV, so that's why I think she's going to win earlier on in the night. But yeah, I think Rhea Ripley is also taking this one home. They've been hyping up, especially on Raw this week, or yesterday, whatever. They had that hype package for Rhea Ripley Like, Rhea, you've never beaten Io Sky. Are you going to let that bring you down at Women's Evolution? And obviously Rhea Ripley, with her Australian accent, was like, "Nar."
I wonder if we have any Australian viewers.
That wasn't offensive, okay? That was not as bad as the stuff I was saying the last 2 weeks. I hyped up your women's PLE, all right? I don't want to hear anything. I'm not PC enough. Whatever. But anyway, yeah, I also have Rhea Ripley winning here. I think they've just been hyping her up too much. If Io Sky's title run was a little bit better, maybe I'd think otherwise, but I don't think she defeats Rhea for the title, defends against Rhea the next week on Raw, defends against Rhea the next week at WrestleMania, does nothing for a number of months, and now faces Rhea Ripley again. There's no way Rhea Ripley loses 3 times in a row. And after what I saw the other week, or yeah, it was last week at King and Queen of the Ring from Rhea Ripley, they wouldn't have had her win that match if they weren't setting her up to win a championship the next 2 weeks after.
Yeah, I mean, like, granted, like, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind Rhea being champion again.
Yeah.
It's just, I really wanted Io to have a really good title reign, and unfortunately, her 2 world title reigns have not been good whatsoever.
Yeah. No, unfortunately, just not the way things fell for Io Sky, and I don't think she'll be a champion again or I don't want to say not be a champion again, because I think she could easily fit into that mid-card title picture, but I don't think she'll be a world champion again for a little while, at least until we can solidify the main event a little bit more for her, because no offense to Io, but it's hard to put her on the mic against somebody like, say, Becky Lynch once she comes back into the main event, against a Bayley, against a Rhea Ripley. And I don't know. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. She succeeds more in those Japanese video packages, which are great, by the way. In ring, she's probably the best on the roster. I'm saying that for both men's and women's division. Like, I'm not shitting on Io Sky here. It's just the way she was booked. And it's unfortunate, but oh well.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Becky, we still have that triple threat match.
I didn't write that down. Holy shit. my Twitter source that I used didn't put that on the thing. Honestly, in my eyes, this is more main event worthy. Anyway, this has been one of my favorite feuds going on, especially all the promos we've had, stuff like that. They've done a really good job of hyping up this match and the Bayley against Lyra Valkyria in the last couple of weeks. Because at first I was kind of questioning, like, how are they going to get those two against one another? But they did a good job of it, and now we're here, which I thought this match was going to be on SummerSlam. I think it completely warranted it being on SummerSlam the way this feud has gone. But who you got here? Because I have my pick, especially after what we saw last night.
After last night, I have Becky retaining.
Really? Why is that?
I said this, I think, back in the Money in the Bank episode. If you give Becky a long enough title reign with this, she could elevate this title a lot. And I'm still like on my word with it. Like, I think she could be champion just a tad bit longer, at least going into SummerSlam, at least, and before she drops it.
I am kind of in agreement, but not quite in the way I think things will play out. I think Becky Lynch, what she has done within this feud for this title, has already elevated it so much. And I think that because of that, Lyra Valkyria's second Intercontinental title run is going to be, I don't want to say a lot better than the first, because I really like the first one, but I think it's going to be a lot more interesting now that people care a lot more about this title. Because like I just said with Io Sky, which now that we're talking about this one afterward, I can't believe I forgot about this match, first of all. This is like the one that I'm looking forward to the most. Like, I don't know how I forgot to write that down. But anyway, Now that if Io Sky loses, now she could come down and face off for the IC title, stuff like that. We could have Kairi Sane come out. Asuka could be in that picture somewhere. I think Lyra Valkyria is going to put this feud to rest once and for all. Even if she gets Becky Lynch out of it, and Becky could go up to the main event and go against Rhea Ripley again. Now that Becky Lynch is a heel, we could just have Lyra Valkyria versus Bayley duking it out for the title. So I think there's a lot more possibility at the moment if you give Lyra Valkyria the title back. I think she is like the perfect mid-card champion right now. She's doing too good of a job in my eyes, which I've seen a lot of people online for some reason hating on Lyra Valkyria's promo work. I think it's great. I think it's fine. Like, obviously she's not as good as Becky Lynch and Bayley, but those two are 10-year veterans of WWE. Like, you can't expect them. But I think she's doing a fine enough job to really solidify this women's mid-card on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, even if the title does change hands on Sunday, I would preferably like to see Lyra win it instead of Bayley.
Yeah, because I think there's more going forward now. I feel like after this match is said and done, Becky and Lyra will have settled their beef, if in fact Lyra is the winner. But then we'll still have Bayley and Lyra going forward. So I just think there's more on the table if Lyra's to win. Even if Bayley wins, Lyra Valkyria and Bayley will still be there. But I got Lyra in this one.
Still got Becky.
All right. We'll see how that one plays out. That's like one of the only ones that we're in disagreements on for this one, other than the women's tag division, I think. So, guess we'll see how that goes. Always fun to give pats on the back after PLEs go down. Somebody's got to be wrong. Somebody's got to be right. Anyway, though, is there anything more on women's evolution before we touch upon my final topic for the day, which has nothing to do with either of these two PLEs, but I have been sitting back on for, I don't know, maybe like an hour here already.
Let's hear our weekly rant.
The weekly Karrion Kross rant is here, ladies and gentlemen. Did you hear those "We Want Kross" chants on Monday? Holy shit.
So loud.
They were loud as fuck, and I was super happy about it. Even when he had his little commercial break thing, which I saw on Twitter. He was like, "Now you got me." So I think Karrion Kross now is officially here to stay on WWE TV. We're going to be getting him coming out more and more and more and more. Only thing I'm worried about, though, is who his next opponent will be, because Sami Zayn was written off TV, and he clearly said it, clear as day, I'm coming after Sami Zayn.
What if Karrion has been plan B for the group of Seth Rollins?
You know me. I'd be all for it. I would love that. I see Karrion Kross more of like he doesn't have big ambitions of, like, as of right now anyway. He's not like, I'm coming after world titles. I'm coming after the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm just here to stir the pot and make people feel shitty about themselves, especially Sami Zayn. That's why I wanted to see, if not Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, who has also been written off TV. So that's a problem right now for us Karrion Kross stands out here, is we're waiting for Sami Zayn to come back. However, Sami Zayn's never gone for long. Like, ever. Sammy Hogan competing in a match after getting beaten down with a metal pipe 2 weeks in a row right before his match starts. Like, Sammy Hogan will be back. I give it 2 weeks. I bet Karrion Kross versus Sami Zayn #2 will be at SummerSlam.
Okay, I mean, let's be honest here. If there's shenanigans that happen between Seth and LA, Sammy's probably going to be back.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, Sami Zayn is just like perpetual, invincible good guy Sami Zayn. Like, you're not going to keep him down for too long. Does that, though, bury Karrion Kross's attacks a little bit? like, oh, I hit him with a metal pipe, but it's not doing anything. Like, does that make Karrion look weak?
I wouldn't say it makes Kieran look weak. I just think it makes Sammy look like immortal.
Yeah.
Like,
And that makes it not believable for me to be like, how is Karrion Kross going to beat this guy? I know I'm not supposed to be rooting for Karrion Kross. Everybody's supposed to be rooting for Sami Zayn because he's the good guy. But to me, as somebody who wants to see Karrion Kross succeed here, I don't know. It's like, how is he going to beat him? Like, how? I really want to see Karrion win. I don't think he can afford to lose to Sami Zayn twice in a row. But just the way Sami Zayn is, that seems to be the way it's going to go in my eyes, unfortunately. But also, maybe a win like that could elevate Karrion Kross even further. I beat the unkillable Sami Zayn. I am like, I almost said Gunther levels of, like, because Gunther didn't beat Sami Zayn. That's right. But maybe that would make him better than Gunther. He beat Sami Zayn.
I mean, what I could like realistically like see moving forward, especially with Karrion Kross, I think it will probably be at least a week or two before Sammy comes back to TV. But realistically, what I could see Karrion doing is like just attacking random guys on the roster, like not just like your like random mid card. Like I don't think he's gonna attack like Tozawa or something.
Yeah.
But he's probably gonna go after like Sheamus or Rusev or like someone like before Sammy returns and stops it. And what I could realistically see, I mean, what if for whatever reason, because we are nearing SummerSlam, Logan Paul returns.
You know what? I completely forgot about Logan Paul. Because that was my original, like, Karrion Kross prediction back by Backlash, WrestleMania even. That would work just fine. The only problem I'd have with that is Sami Zayn going to come save Logan Paul?
Yeah,
Because I can't.
that really does.
I don't see that happening. But I would like for them to revisit Logan Paul versus Karrion Kross, because that was set up. That was like the groundwork. That was where everybody started to notice Karrion Kross, was that promo after WrestleMania, or right before WrestleMania, whenever it was. So yeah, now that you bring that up, I'm all for that. I just struggle to see where Sami Zayn fits into that. Maybe Sami Zayn. Maybe we get the match at SummerSlam. Sami Zayn comes out to screw over Karrion Kross in the biggest match of his career so far. I don't want to say biggest match of his career, but biggest match in a while. One of the only matches in a while. So,
Like honestly, like Karrion needs to be on the SummerSlam card, and realistically, I feel like it could be against Logan Paul.
yeah. No, I like that. I really do like that. I wanted to see them revisit that for a while. It's been so long though that I completely forgot about it.
I was gonna say, because we are close to SummerSlam, and I feel like as of recent, Logan Paul has been a staple of SummerSlam. So get him on the show somehow. Why not revisit basically an old feud with Karrion Kross?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like that. I like that a lot. That has settled my rage for the Karrion Kross rant for the day. I am leaving as a happy camp Karrion camper.
Good.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Is there anything more on Karrion Kross before we move on to... I actually have one more thing that I wanted to bring up before we start to close out the show for the day.
I also have one more thing, and I think we might be on the same page.
I think we probably are. Is it El Grande Americano?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
We got El Grande Americano making his I don't want to say re-debut, but a suspicious match nonetheless against Dragon Lee last night. Big win for El Grande there. to me, I don't know who it is, but I think this is definitely somebody impersonating the original El Grande Americano. I think Michael Cole was onto something. Although a lot of his hate was unwarranted. He was hating so hard on El Grande, like for no reason.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I do agree though. He looked suspiciously taller and suspiciously like somebody else. Can't quite put my finger on who that might be though.
So I've been seeing this guy get tossed up in the conversation. I've been seeing a lot of what Ludwig Kaiser, even when I brought him up like 2 weeks ago. It's definitely not Ludwig Kaiser. I mean, first of all, did you see some of the moves that he did on last night?
Ludwig Kaiser does not do flips and shit like that. Ludwig
He's not
Kaiser,
a high flyer.
he does not do this. This is not a Ludwig Kaiser emote. That is not in his repertoire.
No, and I don't know like how many languages he speaks, but El Grande spoke perfect Spanish.
Exactly.
I might have offended the Hispanic community on that, but you know what?
That's okay. We've
It
been
was
getting more and
perfect
more
in my eyes.
more and more cancelable each week here.
Yeah. But I mean, like, come on. This guy and Ludwig are two completely different people.
Yeah.
Honestly, funny enough, there actually has been a name that's been surfacing recently, and I think it might be him.
Who?
I think it might be Omos.
You know what? That would explain the tallness. Omos is very tall, and we haven't seen him in a while. I think you might be onto something there.
I mean, CVV brought it up on his podcast, and I think I might be agreeing with him.
Yeah,
It's been a long time since we've seen Omos.
that is true. It's probably because he's been in the back studying El Grande Americano and perfecting his lucha libre to perfectly pounce on an opportunity to impersonate him. He probably has El Grande Americano hogtied in the back of his truck right now, so that El Grande can't come out and confront him about his nefarious scheme that he has running here. You definitely might be onto something there.
I mean, it basically confirms the height rumors.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. This El Grande was clearly taller than the other one. And like I said, Omos is a tall dude. It would perfectly explain that.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Omos in quite a while. Who knows? I mean, last I heard, he was in Japan. Who knows, man? I mean, he probably could have done a lot of stuff internationally that he's bringing back now as this new, I guess, impersonator to speak.
Yeah,
so.
he's been out there training. He's been on his Lucha Libre training arc to get ready to impersonate El Grande Americano. I look forward to the El Grande versus El Grande mask versus mask match. That is inevitable.
I can't wait to see how people react to realize it is Omos.
I know. I won't be shocked. We just confirmed it here today. So I look forward to the demasking of this faker.
I mean, realistically, I could also grind your gears with someone who I could also speculate.
Who might that be?
Could be R-Truth.
It could be. We haven't seen R-Truth in a couple of weeks. Ron Killings, by the way, not R-Truth. Yeah, we haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, which is also kind of weird because we just clamored to have him back for however long. I didn't, but you know, other people can clamor for whatever they want. I've been clamoring for Karrion Kross, and we got him. But the R-Truth situation's a little weird right now because we kind of haven't really seen him in a little bit. Other than, was it 2 weeks ago on SmackDown with Aleister Black? So I don't know. It's a little weird. It's like he wants John Cena, but I don't think there's room again in the John Cena heel turn with just the time we have left to go against R-Truth, especially if the end is near of this like heel run.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, who knows? I mean, the mysterious identity of El Grande Americano will forever be in question
Yeah,
until he gets demasked.
the original El Grande will return and demask this poser for us. The mystery will soon be solved. Let's send Scooby Doo and Mystery Incorporated to set a trap for him, and we'll let Fred pull the mask off and and reveal to us who this truly is. Definitely can't be Ludwig Kaiser though. He has a German accent.
Yeah. You wanna hear who my outrageous prediction could be?
Who could that be? I think Omos wasn't outrageous at all. Omos is totally sane. Height difference, but yeah.
So there has been like rumors that this man wants to return to the company. I don't know to what capacity. What if this is a good old Vince McMahon?
Oh, bruh. We've been saying this since the debut of El Grande Americano. This is the most Vince McMahon-esque character that we've had in quite some time. I would not be surprised.
I mean, Vince is probably like 85 if I had to guess, but I mean, he does, I think, fit the mold of this new El Grande, I'm pretty sure.
He totally does, especially the controversialness of him. He fits that part very well.
Just not sure how good his Spanish is.
Yeah. The controversial part, he might be a little too good at that one.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our El Grande Americano segment.
Yes. Okay. Is there anything more on El Grande Americano before we start to wrap up the show here? That's all I've got for the day. So I'm starting to lose my voice. I was on the phone all day and recording my shows and shit at work.
I mean, I'm good. I mean, there really isn't much. I think for the most part, we pretty much have everything set for Saturday night's main event and Evolution. And the Great American Bash this weekend, if we want to consider that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, we got SmackDown Friday, 2 PLE Saturday, another PLE Sunday.
And then
we got Raw Monday,
NXT
on Tuesday,
SmackDown again on Friday. Lots of wrestling this week. It's going to be a big, crazy week. And unfortunately, I'm probably not going to get to watch everything live. I'm probably going to have to wait till I get back to my hotel room, watch it at like 10 p.m. I'm bringing my PlayStation with me just as like a... because we all know hotel TVs aren't great with channel selection and stuff like that. So I'll have YouTube and Peacock and YouTube TV and everything on there. So I'll get to watch that. Also, night one of SummerSlam, we're probably doing a party at my house. So if you want to come to that too. Not you people. unless I personally invite you. But if you're a random viewer on YouTube, like that one guy from the UK, you unfortunately are not invited. I do apologize. Unless you really want to get a plane and fly across the pond and come to a like 3-hour drinking party and then fly all the way home. If you really want to do that, you can. But anyway.
Okay, but like the invite's there. He just has to do everything.
Yeah. Only that guy though. Nobody else. Only that one guy from the UK who watches our show sometimes. But anyway, with that all being said, thank you all for listening, watching, subscribing, however else you are consuming this podcast. We really do appreciate it. I'm Jake. That's Jet Li. You can follow me at J_Yanowski2103 on Instagram. And of course, through all of the social medias in the little graphic below, which I'm probably going to redo in the weeks to come, just because just to spice things up, make it look a little bit more interesting. Jet Li, plug your Instagram.
You can find me at jetly_T on Instagram.
And with that being said, give us a follow, like and subscribe. Find us on TikTok too. I might have some TikToks coming out this week. I'm gonna try the Opus clip thing. I think I'm gonna. I'm tired of making them by hand. Not because it's not fun, just because it takes a while. But anyway, with that all being said, we will see you all next week. We'll see how accurate our predictions really were. So we'll see you then, everybody.